I'll start it off, right? Alright guys, here's a team member inside a meta club named Ollie. I know you guys been asking for a GT deck. I have not been able to provide it personally because I've been making a lot of tweaks, but our man Ollie here has a very strong build. It actually counters the infamous blue mono SS3 deck that's been running around everywhere, and he's actually been performing very well. So Ollie, whenever you're ready, let's get into the profile.
Alright, so one of the first cards that I've made changes to deck is Planet M2. Because the main counter to a GT that's always going to be blockers, and when you can't negate the triple flash, then you're just going to flood the board with blockers. So when you play this card, it stays on board since it's a field card. And so when you tap it, and you can only do it on your turn, it reduces the cost of either a battle card or a leader by 5k. So it pops all the free blockers like Jean, Mai, and others, and it also pops Yajirobe for free.
The most important one.
Yes. Alright, and so I'm running 2 of them. I just don't want to have, like, it's a good deck for decks that, a good include for decks that are running blockers, but you don't want to fill your hand with stuff that isn't comboable. So next, for my Awakening, I'm running 2 Saiyan Kabas and 3 Intensifying Trunks. Right now the meta is a bit more quicker, so you don't have to worry about your opponent stalling you out too much, and you don't want to be seeing too many of these late game. So I decided to go with 2 Kabas and 3 Trunks, just so you preferably want to see Trunks early game, Kaba late game. But either way, they're your only Awakening thing.
Sounds good.
So next we're gonna go into the GT block on here. Alright, so one for pint size. He searches out your GT Gokus, and it looks up to 7 cards, so most times you're not going to whiff, so it's a really good card to have. It's an auto include. Next, I'm running 4 of the Determined Super Saiyan Son Goku. So whenever he played, if you're at 4 left life, then he becomes a 5-drop on the board. So he's the main way that you're going to evolve like into your bigger guys, just because you can play them for 3 even if there's nothing on the board, and you can do the chain that way. So once you're at 4 energy, you're able to do the full chain. Next we have the 6-drop Victorious 5th Super Saiyan Son Goku. So his main effect is if you don't draw Pan, and you can evolve the Goku onto this, swing, he does double strike, so if your opponent's at 5, you can knock him down to 3. And he gains 5k. So if you only have 1 Pan in hand, you can still get the ability off of triple flash, and so you're not necessarily relying on the Pan to be your only source of boosting up your Goku. Right, so next thing could be the main finisher of the deck, triple flash Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku. So whenever his permanent is, if he has 40k when going into the attack, then you cannot activate any counters, which is one of the best abilities you can have, because it not only doesn't allow you to activate negate, but counters in general, so you can't Mafuba him either, which is a weakness of cards like the 12-drop Whis or Victory Strike Son Goku. Alright. And also, he draws 2 when you evolve on him, so it's just more card draw. And it only costs 1 red energy to evolve, and you don't have to pitch for him.
Yeah, that card's broken, dude.
Alright, and it's a triple strike with the flex, so against any freezes or yellow in general, they can't activate Crusher Ball or Cold Bloodlust on play. And so once they're at 3, you're almost guaranteed to be able to go for game. Next is going to be 4 of the Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku, and so he's a 10k draw 1, just more card draw, which is what you need for the deck since you're trying to find all your pieces for the deck. Next I'm running 3 Topos, which are going to be your negate for the deck. So whenever you or your opponent is at 4 or less life, you can summon him for 2. And so you can do that once you're gonna negate, but you can also play aggressively. So if your opponent has multiple battle cards on board, you are able to play on your turn from your hand for 2 and just swing and clear the board, unless they're gonna sacrifice their hand to combo out of it.
Not per se a 4 or less, but when one of the leaders are at 15k attack, correct?
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
right.
All right. Just want to make sure, because sometimes these tap 2 or to awaken leaders, they don't awaken as soon as they hit 4. Just to clarify. But go ahead, bro. You got it.
You're right. And so also his ability is when he swings, if he KOs a battle card, then he'll get to restand, so he's able to go through multiple battle cards on your opponent's side if they're not willing to combo out of it.
Good pressure.
Alright, so next we're going to be going to the blue. So none of the blue is actually used in terms of playing blue, like tapping blue energy, so you don't have to worry about like getting it on there. So you ideally want to run this with like only red energy, but it doesn't slow the deck too much if you hit any blue. So first it could be Legendary Flute, one of the best cards in the format right now, especially in this deck, because you have multiple targets for it. One being either Pint-sized Son Goku, you can play it, bounce it back, and just look through your deck for all your GT Goku things that you need. You can do it off for Saiyan Copper Intensifying Trunks. That way, turn 1, you can, if you only run into one of them, you can play it, swing, take a life, and then flute it back into your hand. If you have the right energy, you can play it again, swing, and awaken, turn 1. And then one of the main ones as well is going to be Pan. So if you only have one and you have a flute, you can activate Goku's permanent by playing a Pan, activating the active main, and then fluting it back and just repeating the process. Or a defensive, or more defensive option is doing it with Raging Spirit Son Gohan. So you'll play him, or you'll combo with him defensively. He comes in ref mode, and then once it goes back to your turn, he'll restand. You can swing with him and bounce him back into your hand. That way you're ready to defend for the upcoming turn.
Awesome.
Right. Next thing could be Unyielding Spirit Trunks. So I didn't want to make the deck too reliant on hitting blue, which sometimes you will, sometimes you won't, and sometimes you just don't want to sacrifice your blue cards, and you rather get more value from playing them. So whenever you, on your turn, when you attack, you can combo him and he untaps 1, which I like a little bit more than Sensu Bean in this deck. Just could let you make optimal plays when trying to get out your Goku. Then the staple for boost attack Piccolos, your super combo, it's gonna be plus 10k in the combo area and draw 1. And then 3 Raging Spirit Son Gohan, which is also just your one of your other defensive options that brings a battle card onto the board, and it just lets you allow pressure turn after turn on your opponent if you need to really drop them down to 3 in order to get your triple splash ready. And the final card in the deck, and one of my personal favorites, we can make the deck really viable, is Dimensional Banisher Fu. So I'm running 3 of him, and that's mainly for decks like the Bergamo lot, or decks that are running big blockers, since those are going to be your 2 main like things that can stop this deck. So you're going to want to use them especially against apes. Like this deck is able to be apes because you have this card. Because you're able to just KO them if they don't have the King Vegeta out yet. And it just stops any battle cards that may be in your way when you're trying to go for game.
Alright, man. Sounds good. So what would you say is your hardest matchup?
Right now, I guess the hardest matchup would probably be SS3 8, just because their deck is revolving around blockers.
Yep.
But if you are able to get the foods in time, then it is a deck that is very beatable. And probably one of the biggest counters to the deck is going to be the Chain Attack Zeno into Trunks.
Yeah.
Just because it's a a combo based deck. So if you get your hand reset, if you don't get anything that, like if you don't get your combo back in hand or anything defensively, you do end up suffering a lot.
Alright, is there any changes you'll make after tons of play testing this version?
Probably one of the few changes I'm considering is maybe bringing up the count for Planet M2 to 3. Just because since like it's really coming like a lot now that people are running the free 5k blockers, so it's easy to kill them, or any other battle card that 5k or less, and that has any effect that are lasting. Like it's just an easy free kill, and a constant combo every turn.
Yeah. Since you've been running this deck, you ran like how many tournaments you done? Because I know there was one at Gaming Go, one at Cytex, and you went undefeated at both of them. Any other?
I went against one. I went to one more tournament at Senpai's. I went X and 2.
Yeah.
And my two losses were, one was Max Sane.
Yeah.
I know it's just that deck and that leader is very aggressive. So just the fact that it can do so much damage in a single turn, like I was not expecting it. So that took me out quick. And then just SS3, which was red and blue.
Yeah.
And it was just running chain attack Xeno, and that's how I lost the game.
All right.
Because I didn't draw into any good pieces.
Understandable. So you say your SS3 blue, mono blue control matchup is not that difficult anymore?
No.
No.
Because soon as they put so much time into setting up the Bergamos, your turn comes and you can just pop it and they're left with nothing.
Proceed. All right, man. All right, Ali, thank you so much for the deck profile. Any adjustments, we'll keep the channel updated, and good luck to your future events.